Jacobs now. Back then you've got a stand, almost like a trials bike as you come through there. And while all this is happening, back at the showgrounds, it's just coming up for 8:30 in the morning. The motorcycles are ready to go. 29 250s. There's Daryl Curtis on the AJA Panasonic Castrol KTM. He was the champion in 1998. Away he goes.
It's going to be very hot today, so the last lap's going to be the deciding factor. And I think the dust also going to start picking up. That's when we start picking up the cars. We're going to have a bit of a problem then. But hopefully everybody has a good day. I really think everybody's keen, and it's nice to come to the first race in the year.
29 motorcycles in the open class.
Well, last year I had a good ride here, and I managed to get a second overall. I'm feeling confident for the race. The weather conditions rained a bit last night and that, so I think the morning will hold the dust down a bit. So it'll be great. I'm just got to keep it together, not make any mistakes, and hopefully have a good run. Anything can happen.
Elmer Simons, he comes from Ladybrand. And he's going to be the first one away. He's third in the championship last year and looking for an overall win this year. There's the Elmer Fox machine, Kawasaki of Clayton Ensslin getting away second last year in the championship. And then the 200cc class, another 20 machines have entered in this one. Number one, Rian Fanikek, he's a bit of a legend too, also on the AGA Panasonic Castrol KTM. And he just won the championship last year by just those 2 points. On the Natro Freight KTM, Alfie Cox, the legend, is on his way. 19 times a South African motorcycle champion. Connex Internet, Tom Clarkson got away. And then the Russell Campbell team, there's Buddy Smith, Craig Arnoldi, they're also from the Russell Campbell Racing. They're going. And now you can see the speed of these motorcyclists. They started an hour and a half behind the cars, and they're really on a roll. Dust is going to be a problem with the motorcyclists coming up. Here's McLaughlin on that Autobate cellular Honda once again. Radiator in the front. He's got to see where to go because he knows he wants to get Alfie Cox today, and he's got to hurry along in this early part of the competition. 250, Daryl Curtis, the first of the 250s. He's going to be chased along by Elmer Simons. He's been a real find from Ladybrand. He's won the, there he is wheeling it off these rocks. If these motorcyclists come short here, they really do hurt themselves. Collarbones and wrists go so quickly, and they are pouring on. Rian Fanikek, it's only a 125 water-cooled motocross bike they're riding in that little KTM. They've got a long, grand history of winning long-distance races, whether it be in the Paris-Dakar, or whether it be in South Africa, on the roof of Africa, whatever. 251, Clayton Ensslin on the Elna Fox Kawasaki. He's looking good. There's the familiar colours there, the red and white of Elna. And here they are down at the diggings there. You can see these faster bikes are now starting to catch up to the slow ones, and they're really hauling. Markings done by Dayglow marking, so the motorcyclists really just have to follow those markers to know where they've got to go. Jeremy Davies back in racing, also an Autobate cellular Honda. He's on a 250 this time, another man that's won a lot of championship. And lovely to hear a big four-stroke, the big Yamaha of Lance Trethewey from Natal. 505 is Tom Clarkson on the big Honda flying along. And look at this for a surface and the speed they come down here. This is Barry Creel. He looks after himself sponsoring wise as they come down here towards the river on the orange coloured KTM. Fourth at the moment is Brett Traut. He's flying along as well. And then just following behind him, we've got Bino Dupree on the Kawasaki. Here he goes, just pouring it on. But the rocks have started to take their toll in this event. There's no doubt about it. It's a tough one.
We had 2 flat tires in 200 meters, so that's unbelievable, really. Never seen anything like it. So now we're going to go and try and get back on 3 wheels.
Very bad luck there for Remy Muns and Frans van Lieshout.
Dis meer populier as wat ek in 20 jaar in off-road gehad.
Well, unfortunately, they had to retire as the leader comes in. 230 kilometers are gone. The first loop's over. Here's R.P. Reinecker, many times a champion with his navigator, Robin Houghton, getting out of the vehicle. Very successful team. The Castrol Toyota is going to be a hard one to beat. In the Lichtenburg showgrounds, the pit crew, just look how quick they do. Change the Yokohama tire on that one. And this is why Toyota wins championships. And they won something like 17 in motorsport last year. They're very, very successful motor company, motorsport-wise. And on their way again, so smooth. And then expected now, second overall, here he is, Neil Woolridge, Paul Vermaak. They come through in that famous Dakar Mitsubishi Pajero, but they're going straight through. They're not stopping, and in total comfort, they've got aircon, they've got electric windows in that 3.5 litre Pajero. A-Corp Racing, A for Nick Harper and Andrew Chalupsky.
How's things?
it's hectic. It's very, very fast. It's from the last G control onwards, it's just flat out.
They're all still doing well at the moment. They're lying sixth. And of course, Chalupsky is a famous name in South African endurance racing of any sort. This CG Krobler Group Lichtenburg 400 is one tough event. Here comes the AV Racing Chanauf of Shamir Varawa and Yaka Khan. And just behind Richard Carroll in the Lube Equipment Race Go, we've got the production vehicle, the Birkins in the Castrol Toyota. Busy showgrounds down here, lots of problems with punctures and suspension. Rashid Noble's gone out, he broke his jack, couldn't get the car back in the road. Henry Zamatin had shocks go in the Pajero. Cliff Barker had another clutch go on his Land Rover, and Bevan Bertol was out when lying fourth with his engine.
Hey, it's a fast pace, eh? We were out in front, we had a flat, and we're trying to get back. Hopefully we'll be on top.
Lots of supporters to help them. They've got a team working flat out. They're doing very well, I must say, in this event. Well, the Chepiks have come through in second spot in special class. They're just lying behind Schilling and Horn, the former champions, who've also had a puncture. Another puncture too for Tom Smith and Pomona Porsche. He's leading and looking good for a win.
I had a slow puncture, which changed the wheels. Now the brakes are fading a bit, but otherwise fine.
Here's that impressive X-Works Toyota. The two campers lying second overall in T3.
I just want to finish now.
That's Mandy Yo navigating for her husband Tony in the Land Rover. That Sabert Land Rover, very efficient team, that one, running on those Continental tyres. Right, they're ready to go. Pit stops over onto the second loop of 230 kilometres out towards Zeerust, and then they loop around and come back to Lichtenburg. Here's that famous Dakar Pajero, the Mitsubishi Woolridge and Vermaak. They're 12 minutes ahead at the moment of Coetzee and Swanepoel, and second overall at the moment in this race overall. Henry Zamatin, Alan Lacrungi in the box standard Mitsubishi, lying fourth at the moment in their class for production vehicles. And this is the last of the vehicles on the road. They almost look in absolute comfort in there, enjoying their day out in this event. The leader, RP Reinecker, Robin Houghton, he's lost his rear wheel drive, he's battling here, he's only got front wheel drive at the moment, it's very intermittent, and he knows the pressure's on now. They've got to stop as they get onto a main road like this one, and you can hear that very impressive Castrol Toyota has got problems, and the competition is coming up behind. Here's a threat, the Chepiks, second in class, they're third overall, and they're on a charge. They've been told that the Toyota's got problems, and they know victory is in sight here, and they're giving it everything they've got. That's the father and son team. Only a minute behind at the stage, and here's RP Reinecker now with Robin Houghton. He's the navigator. They've been a very successful team, these two, and what a vehicle this Land Cruiser is. It's tough, it's built like a tank, and it really does go into great success in South African off-road racing. Yeah, he's keeping it going. He knows the competition's on. He's got to hurry along as quick as he can. Chepiks, they are starting to close now. They've got it down to under a minute, and they are on a charge. Looking good. Well-prepared vehicle. Sounding crisp. He's just ahead of him now, and he's pouring it on. And Richard Schilling and Horn, Ashley Horn there, second overall. They're closing on Reinecker as well. He's been a champion before. Well-turned-out vehicle. They've raced in America. A lot of experience. Well, they stick to the speed limits once they get onto the tar roads. That's part of the deal in an off-road race like that before they get onto the dirt. And then they're going to charge there before they get to the end. And the quads. These four-wheeler quads. Here's the legend himself, Vickers van Deventer, coming for his pit stop. He's had a bit of a problem with the shock absorber. It's not a happy day for him on that Castrol Jojo Yamaha. And that's the machine he rode in the Dakar, 11,000 kilometers across the Sahara Desert. What a competitor that is. Tough as nails is this dairy farmer from Lichtenburg. Paul Comsey on the Natal Protection Services Yamaha. He's second overall at the moment to Costello, and is on a charge. And here's the leader. First year in the open class, we say John Craig Costello in the Joburg Yamaha quad. He's leading it by 50 seconds, and he sounds very, very healthy.
Why are you out?
Okay. Too many rocks.
And that's Craig Arnoldi from Russell Campbell Racing out of this particular event. As the first 250 comes in, Darryl Curtis on the KTM. He knows he's got Elmer Simon's closing. He's got his Camel back to be changed. There's an energy drink he has, and he sips that throughout the event. They change that one. He'll be back in the saddle. And there's Graham McLaughlin leading the 500s, the open class on the AP Cellular Honda, and he's on his way. And the competition, Alfie Cox, he knows he's got to hurry now. He's lying second at the moment, and he's got to catch McLaughlin. Birkins are leading the production vehicle class in Class E. They come out of the waterhole. Not far to go in this event. Still sounding good. A great performance, that new Toyota Hilux, the new Shape 1. And not too far behind them, Harper and Chalupsky. They are 6th at the moment in their class. Here it comes. Lots of ground clearance. Look at that for an efficient vehicle. A very wide track as well. 2 of them sitting in there. Navigator, not too difficult to navigate. He gets charts and then he watches for all these markers along the route. Gerard and Vic Camfer, lying 2nd. That has been a great truck over the years, sounding great as well. The leader of the 4-cylinder single-seater class, it's Tom Smith in the Pomona Porsche. 4th overall at the moment. He's leading his class as well and having a very good outing and sounding good. He might have had a couple of punctures. He's pressing on. Here's John Craig Casella, the Johannesburg Yamaha. He's nearly 7 minutes ahead. He's taken this event and really gone on his own there, with Vickers not being such a threat in this one. That Yamaha is really cracking along, and Costello going for his first win. 501. Graham McLaughlin on the Autopate Cellular Honda is in the front and he's flying along. Big 500cc single-cylinder 2-stroke with lots of power, and Alfie Cox is hurrying along as well. Not too far behind him, as you see. Alfie's on a charge and McLaughlin's out of fuel. He stopped at the side of the road and here comes Cox. No, it's his teammate, it's Elmer Simons comes through. He says, I'm out of gas. Alfie goes through. He's got into the front. McLaughlin's gone to 2nd, and he's only got about a K to go in this event. You cannot believe this happening to this man going for his first big win. He gets fuel. They help him out with fuel. He says, thanks very much. He's on his way. Pours it on. He's going to come through in 2nd position, and he was in sight of the finish. The overall winner, R.P. Reinecke and Robin Houghton by 8 seconds.
Vir die tweede ronde baie moeiliker as die eerste ene as gevolg van die pad wat baie uitgery was. En net na die eerste decontrol section het ons agterwiel aandrywing verloor. So ons het die grootste deel van die tweede ronde met net voorwieldryf gedoen. Wat baie moeilik was. Ons kon nie so vinnig ry, ons het omtrent maar 70% van ons pas gery. Maar ons is gelukkig om van eerste in te wees en selfs ook die spysvryheid algeheel te wen hierso.
And only 2 vehicles out of the 5 that finished that event. And the winner of the E-Class, the production vehicle class, 8 finishes out of 11 were the Birkins. They won it by 26 minutes. And here comes that famous Mitsubishi. 3 finishes out of 7 in Class D goes to Woolridge and Vermaak. 32 minutes ahead of the 2nd man. And Tom Smith looking good. He wins the special, the single-seater class for 4-cylinder cars, 20 minutes ahead with just 5 finishes out of the 50. The first quad, first time out in the senior class as well, the open class, John Craig Casella in the Johannesburg Yamaha, and Alfie Cox, yet another winner's been chalked up on that KTM. What a legend that man is, 19 South African titles. And the 250 class goes to Elmer Simons from Lady Brand on the Autopate Cellular Honda with Rion Fanike. He was the champion last year on the 125 KTM. He wins the 200cc class. And of the 20 starters, only 9 finished. Very tough for these motorcycles. Cornel de Villiers, CE Off-Road Cycles, first of the 200 quads. So there's the results overall. R.P. Reinecke, Robin Houghton at Castrol Toyota win it all. Woolridge won his class. So did Birkin. Very good driving there by the Camphors. In 4th position overall. Great performance. Castrol Toyotas are certainly in there and are going to be hard to beat this year. In the special vehicles, Richard Silling, Ashley Thorne, 42 seconds ahead of the Chepiks. Of course, they were chasing R.P. Reinecke in that Toyota that was having that 4-wheel drive trouble. Volmans is 3rd in the race car, and Tom Smith, a very good performance, winning his class as well. And Alfie Cox, the legend, on the KTM, won the open class, the motorcycles. Errol Simons, the 250s, and 2nd overall, as you see, Daryl Curtis on the KTM in 3rd. And the first win in the open class for John Craig Casella on the Johannesburg Yamaha quad. Certainly a hot, tough event to start the off-road season.